I moved my subscribers or my followers from 500 to 900 and something. And it's not easy, but just do it, you know. And as I was doing it, sometimes there was this post I made that did not get any click. No, it wasn't like, not like, but the impression was 16,000. I went somewhere, I just joined a group where I wanted to start posting blogs. Apart from my website, I wanted to be posting blogs on the platform. I saw one of the owners of the platform posted my post and made comments on that, used it to teach. I was so encouraged. So, long story short, I finished my training, and we were about to start our internship. Human resource now called me and said, I should come and meet with them urgently. I said, this is why you're calling me for a meeting. I know when you call people, there's like a butcher house. What happened? They said nothing. I should just come. I went, and they now started telling me that they've been watching me because the bank is restructuring again, and we have to align with the head office in Cote d'Ivoire. So they had to create other departments. So suddenly, what my former boss said is unattainable for a Nigerian and Anglophone in a Francophone country. They now offered me. I said, why? So no, we created this department. We want you to be the head of the department. What I'm just saying like this, it's more like steps. I didn't know what to say. I said, okay, I'll think about it. They said, no, don't think about it, take it. Because I said, okay, is that going to be training? You know what they asked me? Which training do you want? You're the one that will train others. For me to what I've been looking for since 2017, I was promoted, salary doubled, advantages tripled, and you can imagine where I am. And when they say luck is preparation, meeting opportunity, I was never thinking of this part. So I encourage everyone here to just take it seriously.
All right. Hello, guys. Can we hear?
LinkedIn is your best platform, free of charge. Just go there and charge yourself.
Hello, everyone. Can we hear me? If you can hear me, type it loud and clear in the chat box. Type it loud and clear in the chat box. You're all welcome. You're all welcome to today's session. It's you're gonna have an interesting time. Okay, we're gonna have an interesting time together. So I want you to sit tight. I want you to grab a pen and a paper, because you're gonna go home tonight with quite a lot of information. Okay, so I would love to know where you're joining us from. Where are we joining from? And if it's your first time, I'd love to know. Type first time, might be your first time here with us at Naviat Analytics. Type first timer, and then we can go on with today's session. Okay. Oh, I'm joining from Lagos. I'm also joining from Lagos. So you're welcome, Justina from Lagos, Abuja. Fantastic. First timer, fantastic. Quite a lot of first timers in the house. Okay, so while we are doing so, I'll do a quick introduction of myself. Also do a quick introduction of Navient Analytics, for the sake of those who are joining us for the first time, right? And then we will go on from there. But guess what? I'm super excited to be here today as usual. And I would love to, as usual, share my expertise with you guys. Today we're going to be real with ourselves. We're going to tell each other the truth, and we'll see how that plays out. All right. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, I'm going to share my screen, and I can see all of you in the chat box. I can see those joining us from Port Harcourt, Ilorin, Abuja, Lagos. Fantastic. If you're joining us somewhere outside of Nigeria, I'd love to know. Our fellow African brothers and sisters, you're joining us from Kenya, from South Africa, I would love to know. All right. Today we're going to be talking about some things, some truth that people don't tell you about getting into tech, especially when you're looking for remote jobs? Okay, I'm sure if I ask you now that, do you want a remote job? Do you want to work from home in 2025? You'll likely say yes. Okay, you'd likely tell me, oh, yes, you want to work remotely. But what is the truth about it? What do you need to know so that you can, readjust and reposition yourself, re-strategize so that you can set yourself up for success? Because guess what? If I ask a lot of you also that how many of you have ever tried to look for remote jobs, you tell me, oh, I've tried, it didn't work. Or am I lying? You've tried and it did not work, right? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat box whether you've ever tried and it did not work. Okay. So why is that? So while you are doing so, while you're letting me know, you can see so many people have tried severally and the likes. So let me introduce myself because I'm sure you're seeing me for the very first time. For most of you, if I'm correct. Now, my name is Mohammed Suleiman. I'm the Chief Operating Officer here at Nebiant Analytics, and I'm pushing towards a decade of work experience. Okay, and I've had the opportunity to work with some top firms across the globe, notably Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo is one of Italy's largest luxury car brand. There used to be a sister organization with Ferrari up until about 2016, when Ferrari became a standalone organization themselves. This is not my first time helping people. It's what I do, and that has led me to help 3,000 Africans to switch into the tech space. I've been a LinkedIn top voice, and I also transitioned into tech. Okay, I also transitioned into tech. Now I can see something interesting in the chat, or somebody saying they've never tried. So you're lucky. You're one of the luckiest people, and you'll see why today we stick around to the end of today's session. Now, this is the point where I want to tell you, if you know anybody that can benefit or that will benefit from a session like this, copy the link, send it to them, let them join this minute, because as of now, they've not missed anything. Now, for those of you who are seeing Nebiant Analytics for the very first time, okay, for those of you who are seeing Nebiant Analytics for the very first time, allow me to introduce you to Nebiant Analytics. Nebiant Analytics is an edtech firm that brings premium tech training programs to Africans, and our premiumness is built on 3 pillars. Pillar number 1 is you're going to be working on real-world case studies. Okay, so it's not a case of you working on theory alone. No, you're going to work on real case studies. And the second pillar upon which we build our premium training is that you're going to learn soft skills. Soft skills, a lot of other training firms tell you, go and figure that out yourself. Okay, we don't do that here. Pillar number 3 is you get lifetime support. This is just on the surface. I'll go into details later. Okay, I'll go into details much later into the session. All right, so we'll help people within 3 specific career paths: data analytics, data science, business analysis. Now, all of the reasons why we do this, I will be sharing with you as we go on. Now, guys, we have a roadmap today. Okay, and what we're going to be doing, the first thing is we'll go straight into the discussion. What's that thing that people don't tell you about international remote jobs that you need to actually know? And that should drive your decision. Should you choose to get into tech in 2025? Now, 2025 started just like yesterday, and now it's fast spent. Okay, now we'll go into some of the extra layered supports that we offer here at Nebiant Analytics, some of which I have talked about, but we'll go into proper details. And then I'll be making a special announcement towards the end of the session. Okay, how many of us are excited to be here? Let me know. If you're excited to be here, type yes I am. Type yes I am in the chat. Let me know. Okay, whether I should pack my things and go home, or let's go ahead with the session. All right, brilliant. I love the energy. I love the energy. Super excited. Brilliant. All right, let's get into it now. Now, again, let me say it before I get into it. If at this point there's somebody you know that should be here that is not here, they're about to miss something big. Okay, they're about to miss something big. So you need to send them the link right now, else they'll be missing so many things. All right. So now, guys, first question. Do you want to get a tech job? I know I asked this question before. Do you want to get a tech job in 2025? If this is you, if your answer is yes, then you are in the right place. If your answer is no, then you need to go elsewhere. Okay, but if your answer is yes, you are in the right place. But guess what? Who has ever told you that getting a tech job is actually harder than you think? Now, guys, I'm being real with you. Getting a tech job is, you think it's hard, yeah? You think it's hard to get a tech job. It is actually harder than you think. Okay? It is actually harder than you think. Most people will be shocked when I tell them this. And I'm like, is it not the truth you want to hear? You're welcome. All right. Now, I want you to take a wild guess, and I want you guys to participate a whole lot in this session of mine. Why do you think it is hard to get a tech job? One reason, not two reasons. Tell me one reason why it is difficult to get, and this is specifically tailored to remote international jobs, remote international tech jobs. Why do you think it is hard? Type it in the chat, please. Okay, type it in the chat, type it in the chat box, type it. Everyone is doing it, okay? Oversaturated market, okay? Tell me the reason why it is hard. Let's see. They need the best, okay? Everyone is doing it. It is oversaturated. Who else? Who else? Incomplete intel. She not, you don't have the right skills. I don't think it's hard. All right. So ignorance. Okay, brilliant. Now, let me tell you the reason. Let me tell you the reason. Okay. Let me tell you the reason why it's hard. Okay. And again, I am saying it. I am talking of remote international jobs. Okay. I would look at some of the facts out there. All right. You will look at some of the facts. But the real reason why it is very hard for you is because of these guys. Who recognizes these guys? These guys, okay, these are Indians. Okay, these are Indians, and they are all over the place, left, right, center, when it comes to tech. So if you go out there, you want to get into tech, and you're like, oh, I just want to get into tech, and you just select one fancy tech role, guess what? You likely meet these guys. Okay, you likely meet these guys, and it's gonna be hard for you to penetrate into that particular space. And the reason is not far-fetched. You may be saying, oh, is this, Mohammed, is this your opinion? No, it's not my opinion. Okay, it is not my opinion. Now let's look at some of the statistics, and I've included, a link here from a Forbes newsletter, okay, that details what I'm about to share with you. So if you want to get my slides so that you can click on this link and look at the details yourself afterwards, you need to fill out the attendance form that will be pasted in the chat box by one of my team members. It's a blue link that will be pasted in the chat box. You'd see it, click on it, fill out the form, you'll get my slides, you get the recording, and so on and so forth. Okay, but let's get into it, right? Now, I said it's because of the Indians. Now, is that my opinion? Unfortunately, no. Okay, guess what? As of right now, as we speak, 90 million Indians work from home full-time. Guys, I'm not talking of people who work hybrid. Hybrid is those that work from home and then some days they go to the office. No. Full-time work from home, 90 million Indians as of right now, guys. 90 million. Okay, 90 million Indians. All right, and that's about 50% the whole of Nigerian population, if you look at it, and that's why they have, the upper hand when it comes to remote tech jobs. Okay, and the popular jobs that you see them in are DevOps engineer, cybersecurity analyst, software engineer, cloud computing, web developers, software developers, front end engineers. There are so many. So if you want to get into tech and you haphazardly select a, a niche, you are going to be in soup, you're going to be in trouble, you're going to find it hard. Okay, I had my own fair share of experience. I even had the opportunity of interviewing with some Indians. Okay, and these guys are very brutal when it comes to hiring. So you need to be strategic about the career path you are choosing going into tech. Else, you're going to be a brick wall of impossibilities. Are you with me, guys? Am I making sense? Am I making sense, guys? So getting into tech is hinged on the career path you choose. A lot of people think, oh, the journey starts after I choose a specialization. No, that is when it starts. The moment you say, I want to get into tech, you must be careful of the career path you choose. If you sporadically choose, oh, this sounds interesting, oh, it looks nice, it looks fancy, and you choose it, you are in soup. Now, as an African, a Nigerian, okay, somebody in Africa, you are like me, you look like me like this. If you want to get into tech, there are specific career paths you should be looking at, okay, that would give you the best chance at breaking into the tech space. And back in the days when I met my mentor told me the same thing. That look, you want to select a niche as an African and you want to do it in a way that gives you a chance, because you're not getting into tech for the fun of it, right? You're getting into tech to make ends meet. Am I correct, guys? Am I correct? You're getting into tech not for the fun of it, but you want to make ends meet. I've heard some people saying, I just want to learn, I just want to upskill, but that's not me. And I hope that's not you as well, right? You want to make ends meet. So if that's the case, then you need to be intentional about the career paths that you choose. All right. And I met my mentor after spending like 2 years trying to get into tech. The final 2 months of my journey into the tech ecosystem, I met my mentor. My mentor told me that, look, if you want to get into tech as an African, these are the career paths you should look at: either data analytics, data science, and business analysis. Either of these three, you should choose from them. And gave me all the reasons, okay? And one of the ones that stood out for me was the fact that by choosing one of these three career paths, right, I stand a chance. I have a chance just by making the choice of these three. I have a chance. Now, some people are asking, oh, how about this? How about that? How about this? Now, you see these three career paths. They meet some criteria that you need to consider as an African. Okay, somebody's asking, what of data annotation? Don't worry, stick with me. You see the reason why data annotation is not here. All right. Now, the reason why you should choose one of these three career paths is this. Now, it is easy to learn. Pretty much anybody from any background can jump on any of these three career paths and they'll learn it and have a very good chance of breaking into tech. Guys, listen to me. Have a very good chance of breaking into tech. There are so many tech roles out there or career paths out there, but you want to select the one that gives you a good chance. And that's what we're talking about here. So it's easy to learn, whether you're a stay-at-home mom, you're a fresh graduate, you're a 60-year-old, or you're a 60-year-old, looking to, get busy after your retirement. You're working 9 to 5. You want to get a side hustle, or you want to transition completely. You want to work from home. You're done with office work. Because myself now, for the past almost 5 years now, I've been working from home. Okay, so how do you give yourself a fair chance to achieve that reality? You want to choose a career path that is easy to learn. You don't want to learn something that is first off hard, and then you spend quite a lot of time trying to get into the space. Second reason, it is easy to transition. It is easy to transition because the amount of job postings you get per day is unbelievably high. Now, to buttress my point, let me show you something, guys. Let me quickly show you something. Okay, let me show you something so that you will say, oh, Mohammed is just talking. All right. Now let's go to LinkedIn real quick. Very quickly. Let's go to LinkedIn. Okay. I hope it loads very, very fast. So let's go to LinkedIn. All right. Let's go to LinkedIn. Okay. Let's go to LinkedIn. Now, let's go to LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn is a platform, for those of you who are wondering, LinkedIn is a platform where, you can search for jobs. It's one of the most popular platforms. You can also portray yourself, your brand, your professional brand to potential recruiters, right? Let's search for data analyst, for example. Okay, let's search for data analyst, just data analyst. And I want you to look very closely. Okay, now I've searched for data analyst, so I'll click on jobs because I want to seek for data analyst jobs. Okay, so let me click on jobs and wait for it to load. So it's going to load up data analyst jobs. Now, those people who have been following my session for the past 1 week now, okay, you'd agree with me that this was not the number. Let me zoom in. Let me zoom in so that I make my point. Guys, look at this. What can you see here? What can you see here, guys? 15,000. Stay with me. 15,540 open roles right now. Okay. This one was posted 5 hours ago, as you can see. This one was posted 1 day ago, 1 week ago, 2 days ago, 2 hours ago, just before we joined this session. This one was posted. Okay. And you want to set your location to EMEA, which is Europe, Middle East, and Africa. So that combines all the international opportunities that you are looking for. 15,000 open roles. Guys, 15,000. Okay. And I can filter it to remote. Okay. I can filter it to remote. If I filter to remote, this is what? 2,441 results for remote roles only. Remote, meaning you are working from home. 2,000. Now tell me, can you possibly apply to 2,000 roles, only you? Is it possible? Even if I give you 1 week, would you be able to finish out 2,000? If I give you 1 month, would you be able to finish 2,000 roles? If you can't see it, it's probably your screen. Okay. I want to believe we can see my screen. Guys, if you can see what I'm showing you, type I can see your screen. Okay, so that Sylvia and Good News knows that it's an issue from their side. Please type I can see your screen. Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much for that. So 2,400 open roles for remote alone. So such is the demand, and that's the reason why it is easy to transition, especially as an African. Now the attendance form is in the chat box. Click on the link, fill out the attendance form. Okay, click on the link, fill out the attendance form. Now let's move to the third one, and this is where it gets interesting. If you are like me, okay, probably like money, right? So these roles have fantastic salary projections. Fantastic salary projections, right? And that is one reason, because again, I used to tell people, you are not doing this for the fun of it. You are doing it to make ends meet, right? So you need to put these three things into consideration. So the other person that was talking about data annotation, even if it's easy to learn and easy to transition, it is ridiculous salaries you'd get. Okay, you'd hear data entry clerk. That is nonsense. Permit me to use that word. All right, permit me to use that word, please. Forgive my language. Okay, but it is so ridiculous the kind of salaries you get for that. Yes, data is in front of the career, but the job description is what matters the most. Okay, and that's why you need to be very careful choosing a career path. Am I making sense, guys? Am I making sense? Are you with me? Are you with me? I need to feel the energy. I need to feel the energy. Let me feel it. Let me feel the energy. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. We're making progress and we're heading somewhere. Okay, now, guys, now that we've established this, okay, we've established that you need to, be very careful when it comes to looking for a career path or selecting a career path. Let's move to what are the projections into the future. Now, the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs report. Now, this is a report developed, I think every 3 years or every 4 years, if I'm correct. And the most recent one is the report for 2025. Now, this is a combination or a gathering of world politicians, thought leaders, captains of industries, some of the powerful billionaires across the globe. They come together to discuss what the future of jobs looks like. And the projections for roles like data analysts, data scientists, data engineers, and even business analysts, okay, are projected to grow by another 30 to 35% by 2030. Meaning that by 2030, let me put that into perspective. It means that by the year 2030, the projections are saying that, you see that number we saw, that 15,000 plus that we saw, whenever you search, you are likely going to 25,000. Okay, you see 25,000 open roles. The demand is growing. So how do you want to take advantage of that now as an African? Okay, and I've kept the link here to the full report. It's about 300 pages, so you can consume it when you get my slides. Key thing is fill out the attendance form so that you can get it. So now, I think we need to look at the three differences, because if I'm correct, you really don't know the difference between data analysts, data scientists, and business analysts. Are you interested in knowing the differences between all three so we can get into that? Are you interested in knowing the differences between all three so we can get into that? Let me see. Brilliant, brilliant. Let's get into it. All right, let us get right into it. Let's start with the data analysts. And I'm going to make this as simple as possible so that you won't need any other session apart from this. You won't need to ask anybody what the differences are anymore again if you are here. You will not need anybody to ask that question ever again. Now, what's the job of a data analyst? I love to call the data analyst storytellers. The storyteller. Storyteller. They tell stories, they describe things. Okay. So the job of a data analyst is to go into an organization, get hold of their records, their data, and explain to them what has happened based on the data. So you summarize, you create visuals, charts that summarizes what the data is saying. So in the end, you are narrating what has happened, and not just that, you are telling the organization why those things happened. Are you with me, guys? So the data analyst is a storyteller, and their job is to tell the organization what has happened and why it happened. Okay? What happened and why did it happen? Okay, and to put this into perspective, there are 4 types of analytics. Okay, to start with, you have descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, predictive analytics, and prescriptive. And the job of a data analyst is the first 2, descriptive and diagnostic. And that's what I've explained so far. Descriptive is you telling the organization what happened. Describe it. Tell us a story. What really happened? And then diagnostic is, oh, okay, these things you say has happened now. Why did they happen? And you're not giving opinion. You're talking based on what the data says. Clap for me, guys. Clap for me. That's the job of a data analyst. Clap for me. Clap for me, guys. Fantastic. Okay. Now, that's your job as a data analyst. So if you're the type of person that loves to, summarize into charts, okay, you find that interesting, you love to tell stories, and you want to dig deep into why those things happen, then you need to consider being a data analyst. Now, the tools you need to know as a data analyst are as follows: Excel, SQL, ChatGPT, Power BI, Tableau, and Looker Studio. Okay, if you know how to use these tools, there is no data analyst role that you cannot assume anywhere in the world. Okay, some recruiters require that you know only just one. Okay, but the moment you present that you know all of these things, guys, as a data analyst, you stand the better chance. People asking for Python, calm down. Victor, calm down. Okay, calm down, take it easy. We're talking about the data analyst. Okay, I'm here to tell you the truth. So just calm, stay calm. Okay, we're getting there. All right. So as a data analyst, these are the tools you need to know: Excel, Power BI, SQL, Tableau, Looker Studio, and ChatGPT. All right. Now let's look at who a data scientist is. On the other hand, now a data scientist, I love to call them. Now, guys, if you have questions, I would need you to leave the question till the end. I mentioned at the beginning of the session that I'll take questions. Okay. So if you're asking a question now, I may likely miss it. So keep your questions to the end of the session. We'll soon be done, and I'll take questions. All right. Now, a data scientist, I love to call them the inventor. Are we together, guys? The inventor. People that build stuff, right? The inventor. Now, why do I call them the inventor? The reason is not far-fetched. Now, I said that there are 4 types of analytics, right? You see the other 2 that I did not talk about. Now, that is the job of the data scientist, the predictive and prescriptive analytics. So your job as a data scientist is telling the organization what is likely going to happen in the future and what is the action plan. How do we try to influence that eventuality? I hope my English is not too much, guys. I hope I'm not speaking too much English. People will say English is not our mother tongue. Why are you speaking English like this? Okay, so but I'm trying to drive home my point, right? So as a data scientist, your job is to look into the future and tell the organization, okay, based on what has happened, okay, this is what is likely going to happen, and this is how we should position ourselves for that eventuality. And the tools you need to know as a data scientist, okay? And guys, if you remember, descriptive and diagnostic is the job of the what? Who can remind me? Descriptive and diagnostic is the job of the what? Data analyst, right? You're with me, guys. You're with me. Now, while predictive and prescriptive analytics is for the data scientist, and that is why data analysts and data scientists are 2 different career paths. These are 2 different career paths. Yes, they may have some overlapping tools that they use together, but they use them for 2 different purposes. Okay, the data scientist is concerned about predicting into the future and telling the organization how to position themselves for that eventuality. And the tool you need to know as a data scientist are Microsoft Excel, SQL, Tableau, Python, GitHub for version control, and ChatGPT. Okay, and the reason we call them the inventor is because they make use of Python, the most. Now, you use Python to build the predictive model. You're not going to be the one doing the prediction. You would use Python to do that. Okay, so you use Python to build what we call predictive models. Think of them as robots that help you predict into the future. Okay, so you use it to build stuff like that, and that's why you're called the inventor as a data scientist. Am I making sense, guys? Am I making sense? And guys, if you can see ChatGPT, we've added ChatGPT to our curriculum because we are now in the era of AI. Okay, and there is no better time to become a data scientist than right now, especially with the advent of AI. I made a post today on Instagram and I was telling people that look, AI has now made writing Python codes very easy. So instead of focusing on writing Python codes as a data scientist, you can focus more on actually solving the problem. You're not a coder, you're a problem solver. That's what I tell people. Okay, you can check my IG story, you see it right there. Now let's go into it. Okay, so for the person asking for Python, you've seen Python. Now, how about the business analyst? That's the third career path, right? And I want to know if you are enjoying this session. Okay, I'm having a great time. I want to know if you are also having a great time yourself. Fantastic, great. Now, how about the business analyst? Okay, how about the business analyst? Now, the business analysts, okay, I love to call them. Okay, let me even engage you now here. Okay, if I call the data analyst storytellers and I call the business and I call the data scientists rather inventors, how about the business analysts? What do you think I should call them? Fantastic. If you've been in my session before, you know the answer. The answer is translator. They are called, I love to call them the translator. If you've ever watched a movie where two important figures, not necessarily a movie, if you look at if two important people are going to meet and discuss and they don't understand each other's language, you need a translator. Okay, you need a translator in there. Now, the job of the translator is to ensure that both parties are aligned, and such is the job of a business analyst. So, as a business analyst, your focus in any business is to define the goal of the business and to ensure that everybody within the team or concerned stakeholders within the team or within that project is aligned to that goal. Every business has a goal. Okay, some of them are short term, some of them are long term, some of them are medium term. Now, regardless of the goal, all right, your job as a business analyst is to ensure that the business reaches that goal and everybody that is concerned is aligned. Okay, so you are a people's person. But guess what? As a business analyst, your job goes beyond just handling people, leading people, managing people, documenting, and the likes. You also need a little bit of data skill. And for that reason, we updated our curriculum to include Excel, SQL, and Power BI. These are data tools. Because recruiters these days also require that as a business analyst, even if your core purview is to lead people to achieve the business goal and to align them on that goal, they also require that you are able to handle data to a reasonable extent. All right. So for that reason, we updated our curriculum and we have infused a little bit of data into our business analysis curriculum. If you go elsewhere, they will likely teach you this and they won't even teach you well. They will not even use real world case studies to do that. They'll give you PDFs to go and read. Okay, how unfortunate. Now, so the tools you need to learn are Excel, SQL, Power BI, Miro for process mapping, Draw.io does very similar, ChatGPT as well, Azure DevOps. This is one cloud platform that you need to know as a business analyst, and then Jira for managing your team. Okay. Now, some people ask, oh, what about Scrum Master? Now, a Scrum Master just works with the Agile methodology, okay, which is something you learn. You learn about Agile and Scrum under business analysis, so you can also act as a Scrum Master. A Scrum Master is like the HR that works under a business analyst. So the job of the Scrum Master is to ensure that the agile team, that's the team members of a business analyst, understand what the agile methodology is. Okay, so look at them as an assistant business analyst. All right, so that's what the Scrum Master is for those of you who were asking. So the business analysis program covers that as well. Now, guys, based on what I've said so far, okay, and if you've not filled the attendance form, this is the point you should. Which of these career paths would you go for? Do you want to be a storyteller, or you want to be an inventor, or you want to be a translator? Which one do you want to become? Let me know. Let me know. Which one do you want to become? You want to become a translator? That's the business analyst. You want to become an inventor? That is the data scientist. Or do you want to become a storyteller? Okay. Fantastic. Some people are even claiming it. I am a good storyteller. Fantastic one. Fantastic one. Now, guys, okay, we're getting into it. All right. We are getting into it. Now, meet Naomi. Okay. Naomi chose her career path, right? Okay. After a discussion like this that she was in, okay, she opted for the business analysis program. Okay. And she got results. She got a job. In fact, she got an entire department to herself. Naomi joined our program, okay, and eventually got an entire department to herself, and that was how she transitioned into tech. That was her story, okay. And I would love you to listen to Naomi, okay. I would love you to listen to Naomi so that you can, get to hear. You can get to hear how she was able to pull that off. Okay, so that you can get to hear how she was able to pull that off. So give me a second. I'll share my screen now, and you get to hear from her yourself. And afterwards, we will proceed. Okay, afterwards, we will proceed. All right. So I want you to hear from her yourselves. Okay, I want you to hear from her yourselves. All right. So Shakirat, do you want to share the screen, please? All right.
Just last week, rather, 2 people landed a job. All right. There's someone that is meant to share a testimony with us. I don't know. Are you on the call, Naomi? Hi, Naomi. You can please turn on your video and unmute your mic. So you just talk to the house about your job learning process and how you're able to land your job and all of that. Hi, good evening. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Naomi. Let me just start from the beginning. I'll try and be fast. In 2017, the bank, I live in a small country in West Africa where they speak French. And then my bank was acquired. And when the bank was acquired, the bank that bought over my bank now started laying off foreigners and all that. But for reasons known to them, I applied to go and they said no. So I was more like frustrated. I stayed with them. But I found out that as we are going forward, I'm being relegated to the background. As a supervisor, I had a lot of branches under me. I was supervising with over 65 staff. But I found out that they were trying to relegate me. I buried myself into training. I told myself I'm going to be so trained that I can conveniently work from home, because my idea after working in the bank for so many years was not to go sit or for interview work for someone else. I just wanted to do something on my own, get a job somewhere, do it online. And as I was doing those courses I started with the free courses from Harvard. I got a lot of certificates from there. And that was how last year, August, Nabians appeared on my feed. I looked at it, and that night they were having, Lemoy was talking just like she's talking. I just joined, and I loved what she was saying. I said, this is like my problem is solved. Remote work, this is going to solve my problem. So I paid that night, and I paid a deposit for someone else too. So that's to show you how motivated I was. And I joined the course. The most amazing part of the course is the family part. You know, it was just like we've known ourselves for years. The business analytics, we started as a general course, everybody together, and then we split to different courses after some weeks. It was so interesting, and I decided to encourage everybody in the group to follow up the course and finish. So almost all of us in the business analysis, we started and we finished. I followed the course religiously, because to me, this is life and death. At least I'm from Nigeria and I should prove myself. So I followed the course step by step. Went to LinkedIn, optimized my LinkedIn. I built my project. It was like building a website. I did everything line by line, point by point, and I started posting my profile. And when the 30 days the challenge came up and they said we should post every day for 30 days, man, it was not easy, but I did it. As by the end of that, those 30 days, I moved my subscribers or my followers from 500 to 900 and something. And it's not easy, but just do it, you know. And as I was doing it, sometimes there was this post I made that did not get any click. No, it wasn't like, but the impression was 16,000. I went somewhere, I just joined a group where I wanted to start posting blogs. Apart from my website, I wanted to be posting blogs on the platform. I saw one of the owners of the platform posted my post and made comments on that, used it to teach. I was so encouraged. So, long story short, I finished my training, and we were about to start our internship. Human resource now called me and said I should come and meet with them urgently. I said, this is why you're calling me for a meeting. I know when you call people, there's like a butcher house. What happened? They said nothing. I should just come. I went, and they now started telling me that they've been watching me, because the bank is restructuring again, and we have to align with the head office in Cote d'Ivoire. So they had to create other departments. So suddenly, what my former boss said is unattainable for a Nigerian, an Anglophone in a Francophone country. They now offered me. I said, why? So no, we created this department. We want you to be the head of the department. What I'm just saying like this, it's more like 5 steps ahead. I didn't know what to say. I said, okay, I will think about it. They said, no, don't think about it. Take it. Because I said, okay, is that going to be training? You know what they asked me? Which training do you want? You're the one that will train others. We've been looking at your LinkedIn. All things asking us to train. They are all on your LinkedIn. So you train others. When I was doing this, I never thought about anything. I never knew that Nabiant is going to be a step for me to what I've been looking for since 2017. I was promoted, salary doubled, advantages tripled, and you can imagine where I am. And when they say luck is preparation meeting opportunity, I was never thinking of this part. So I encourage everyone here to just take it seriously. LinkedIn is your best platform, free of charge. Just go there and charge yourself. Work on your portfolio. Just follow the steps. Everything you're being taught here, follow it one after the other. And the most amazing part is that every team member is ready to help. If you just reach out, they are ready to help. Even the ones you think they are disturbing you, they are there for you. So I just came in here to encourage all of you, because honestly, if I was going to apply for this, they wouldn't have still given it to me. And I was just sitting in my office, they offered it to me. And I'm still grateful to God and grateful to Nabians for the opportunity to showcase my sleeves.
Wow. Thank you. I totally remember Naomi when she joined and she was like, I won't pay for somebody else. You know, the funny thing is the person that you even paid for did not finish the course. She was.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and it's quite interesting to know that.
All right. Thank you very much for that, Shakira. Okay, I believe we can see my screen now. So that was Naomi, all right, and her story. She had an entire department to herself. Oh, she was asking, is there going to be training? You'll be the one training other people. What do you mean? That was what they told her. Okay, and that was because she leveraged LinkedIn, that same platform that I showed you. She leveraged it, following all our instructions. So we have a formula, and what we do works. So it's left to you. If this is something that you really want to do, then you can be the next Naomi. And I've kept her profile here so you can actually contact her. This is her portfolio as well. when she joined us, she built this portfolio under our guidance. So this is something that you should consider. Okay, after, of course, after you have chosen your career path. This is some of our posts. Okay, I deliberately put it here so you can see the frequency of her posting. All right, she talked about not just her project, but talked about different subjects in that particular career path. Okay, now we've already listened to Naomi. Okay, we've already listened to Naomi, so we need to make progress. Now, let me tell you about someone else. This young lady right here, Grace Uduak, Grace Passing. For Grace, her situation was a little bit different from Naomi, but guess what happened? For Grace, okay, her company tried to ignore her. Her company tried to do what? They tried to ignore her. Guess what? This was how it happened. All right. So she was working with one very popular bank in Nigeria, and then she stumbled upon our program, and that was how she registered. Okay. She even had to borrow from her mom to register for our program. That was what she said. Not me. You can listen to her. The testimonial is all over the internet. You can hear from her directly. Now, people are saying they can't see my screen. Can you see my screen? If you can see my screen, please confirm you can see my screen. You should be able to see my screen. If you can't see my screen, just leave the call and join back. Okay, you should be able to see my screen if your network is okay. Now, guys, she got an offer from Sparkle Nigeria, and then the bank where she works, got to hear, and then guess what? They promoted her and increased her salary. Now she went back to Sparkle and told Sparkle that Sparkle, this was what happened. Though. They've promoted me, they've increased my salary. Sparkle increased the offer. And at that point, it was no longer difficult for her to make a decision. She went to Sparkle. Okay. So in her own case, her company tried to ignore her and to pay the price. So these are the things, these two people that I've talked about now, they did not apply to the job. Are you with me, guys? Did you hear me say they applied to any job? They did not. I didn't mention that they applied to jobs. The jobs came to them. So such is the demand we have currently right now. Okay, we are saying it. Some people are ignoring us. Okay, but when they see CBEX, they will jump at CBEX. This is tech now for you. Tech made for you. CBEX came, ripped people off. In a country where they will say, oh, there is no money, there is no money. 3 trillion naira worth of fraud happened with CBEX. Now, this is tech. All right, I just said, let me advise you. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a tech bro. So I just said, let me chip that in. There are a lot more. We have Lebura Olawale, had a very similar story. You have, yeah, it's not funny. Okay, it's not funny actually what CBEX did, but it happened. Right? It's happened. That's the irony. So Lebura Olawale, she posted this particular dashboard, and this is Excel. If I ask now, can you use Excel? You say yes. This is Microsoft Excel. Can you build this that you're seeing on your screen? Lebura built it under the guidance of one of our experts. She posted it online, and that was it for her. That's how she got the job. Another person who did not apply to job. You can listen to her. You can listen to her, her testimonial. It's right there in my slide. You get the slide, you get to listen to it. Now, how was it possible for us to help these people? Okay, I've talked about 3 people now, and there are still more. How did we help them? Now, we understand that beyond just the technical skills that you need to get into one of these roles, you also need employability training. You need employability support. And these are the skills that actually get you the job. Now, beyond just the technical training, you undergo mentorship. Would mentor you. So I heard somebody saying, oh, can you be my mentor? All you need to do is to select Nabians and I'll be your mentor. Okay, throughout. All right. So Weekly mentorship sessions. You have myself, including other experts within the team, mentor you on how to get a tech job. We'll talk about things like how to introduce yourself in an interview, how to talk about your skills, how to answer questions strategically, how to answer very tricky questions like, oh, can you tell us a time when you argued with your line manager? How did it go? How do you answer such a question in a tech interview? We'll teach you how to do that. Also, how to negotiate a salary in a tech interview. All of these things will be discussed during the mentorship session. We also have CV assessment and job matching. Gone are the days where you take a single CV and use that to apply to all the jobs that you have out there. It doesn't work these days. You need to be able to tailor your CV to suit a job posting. That's what gets you results. You also have LinkedIn profile revamp. I don't think at this point I need to talk about LinkedIn anymore. I've talked about it a lot. Okay, I've mentioned it in this session a lot. So let's go to the next. You have Upwork profile revamp. Will help you, work on your Upwork account, okay, so that you can target remote international jobs. That's what Upwork is for. Now, most of you or some of you may already have an Upwork account, okay, but you've never gotten any gig there. That's because you are doing it wrong. Would help you with that. You have a lifetime interview preparation. What does this mean? Now, ordinarily, when you're in the program, if you have an interview coming up, all you need to do is to inform us and we prepare you ahead of the interview. But guess what? We are giving it to you on a lifetime basis. Do you know why? Because we don't need to wait for you to come back and ask us, oh, please, can you help me prepare for an interview? You don't need to do that. All you need to know is that you have a lifetime access to it simply by enrolling for one of our programs. Okay? Now, you also have a lifetime access to your training materials at Nebiant Analytics, including the experts that are training you. Because these are real people, they are real professionals. So we build a community around our students and the professionals they work with so that you constantly get that help that you need even after your program has ended. No other training program will give you this. They'll tell you, can you pay extra, so that each time you come back to ask them for something, they'll tell you to be paying like that. That's not helping you. What you're seeing on the screen now is the help that you need. Okay, you also get a 1-month internship to test your skills and a lifetime access to recommendation letters. How many of you know what a recommendation letter is? Fantastic. So it's very common in the tech world. Okay, if a recruiter wants to recruit you, they would ask you for a recommendation letter. And speaking about the recommendation letter, okay, let me talk about Helene Okan. And I spoke with her today. I spoke with Helene today. I gave her a call just to check up on her. How is she doing on the job and the likes? Okay. And even right now, I promised her some things that I'll send to her tomorrow. And such is the support you get. But that's not what I want to talk about. Helene got a job as a junior marketing analyst, and the recruiter asked her to send them a recommendation, a reference letter. Okay, sometimes you call it reference letter, sometimes you call it recommendation letter from her previous employer. So one of the things we give our students is we give them the liberty to use Nebiant Analytics as a previous employer. If you look down here, you see you both worked at Nebiant Analytics. So it's going to show that myself and Helene worked at Nebiant Analytics. What does that mean? That way, I can assume the position of one of our managers and write her a recommendation letter. In fact, I actually wrote Helene's recommendation letter for her. You needed to see how compelling it was. All right. And these are the things that would make the difference between you and another candidate who they also gave an offer, but was not able to, present a recommendation letter. Okay, that's Helene Okai. That was how she got the job. And it's a 3-month journey plus a 1-month internship, making 4 months in total. And your schedule is as follows. Your classes are going to be online on Saturdays. All right. So a lot of people ask, oh, why not physical class? The reason it's online is very simple. Okay, we have a lot of Africans in-house. All right, both your facilitators that are going to be teaching you, we outsource them, and logistics is not the issue. So we get the best experts to work with you regardless of where they are and where you are. Okay, so on Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., you connect to your instructor for 3 hours. You work on real world projects, not theory. Okay, and on Sundays, you get what we call DID videos. DID videos are do as I do videos, and the idea is that they prepare you ahead of the next class on Saturdays. Okay, so it's just like you preparing so that when you come to class, you are able to participate effectively. All right. Now, during the weekdays, you have sessions, but they are not classes. All right. They are not classes. Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay. On Tuesdays, you have support sessions. So if you have any issues from what you've learned previously, you enter into the session and then you get the help that you need 9 to 10 p.m. for 1 hour. Okay. And then Thursdays, you get your mentorship sessions. Now, all your sessions are going to be recorded and provided to you on a lifetime basis. You hardly find any tech training program do that for you. I can see somebody saying, "Oh, I prefer physical classes." If you are looking to work in the remote, ecosystem, and you're looking for a physical class, forget about remote work. Just forget about it. Okay? I'm sorry to say, forget about it. All right, you need to start to get yourself conversant with remote. I mean, you're here today, you got value from here, right? So, what's the big deal? And I tell a lot of people, you need to start thinking remote. A lot of things are happening online these days, and because you shut yourself out of it, you miss out on so many opportunities that you don't even know. And every single month, you keep paying for it without you knowing. Okay, you are open to an opportunity of earning about 1.5 million monthly. And the reason you are not earning that now is because there was an online opportunity you missed. Guess what? Whatever your salary is currently, minus it from that 1.5. Okay, the remaining amount is what you are paying every single month because you shut yourself out of that opportunity. Okay, so that is how that is your situation right now. So if you are, and that's why I asked the question at the beginning of the session, if you are looking for a remote job, okay, this is a session for you. But if not, then you're not in the right place. All right, so let's move ahead from all of these. The full price, I mean the full course brochure is here. Okay, so if you want to see all of the details about each of the things you learn under each tool, under each career path, all you need to do is to click here when you get my slides after the session. Okay, ensure to fill the form. Okay, fill the attendance form so that you get my slides and the recording of this session. Okay, now within the next 2-3 minutes, let me show you what the classroom is like, because a lot of people are saying, "Oh, how does the class look like? How does it look like?" When you get into the program, you get into this particular platform called the Google Classroom. So if you've been wondering how we've been able to keep our promise of giving a lifetime access to all right, to our participants. How have we made that happen? How did we make that happen? We use Google Classroom. Okay, that's the secret. We use Google Classroom. So let me show you one of the recent classes that just started. Let me show you the data analytics male cohort, the class that started just earlier this month. Okay, so now when you get onto the program, the first thing you would experience is the onboarding session. So your very first class is not going to be technical, nothing too technical. So you don't need to be under pressure starting the class. It's going to be a soft landing. Tell you all the things you need to do going forward in that first class. Okay, and all you need to do to join the session is to come to this platform, click on classwork. You go to the particular login detail, click on it. If you click on this login detail, you can see this was May 10th. This held May 10th. You can see May 10th. All right, so you click here, join the session, just the way you join this particular session. Okay, and guess what? It is recorded. It is recorded. You can see, sorry about that, let me get back. You can see this is the recording. This is the recording of the session. So if for any reason you missed it, you can come back here, click on it, and boom, you can relive the session. Are you with me, guys? You can relive the session. This is something other tech training programs will tell you. Go on. If you ask them, oh, can I get the recording of my session? They'll tell you, oh, go and pay extra. If you come tomorrow again, they'll say you can pay extra again. In the end, you don't get value. Now I'm giving this to you lifetime. Okay, that's not all. Let me take you to one of the actual classes. Now, this is their first class on Excel, for example. Can you see the login details to the class is provided? All right, this happened this past weekend. You can see 17th of May. That was when this particular class happened, 11 to 2, just as I said. All right, you can see the class material. This was the class material. Let me show you what the class material looks like so that you see what you'll be working on in class. All right, so you have some of the basics here and there, but the main thing is the case study itself. So in this particular class, these are people who are starting out as a data analyst. Guess what? They're going to be working on a Walmart case study on Walmart. All right, so it's going to feel as if they're already working. So it's going to be real scenario. So look at this. You've just joined the sales analytics team at Walmart as a junior data analyst. The first task is to clean up a messy e-commerce sales data set that was exported from an external tool. The file has several issues. Okay, now your manager also wants you to generate insights from the clean data. You have to calculate these, that. All right, so, and this is the data set. You get your hands dirty and actually work on it under the guidance of the instructor right there in class. So, and this is the class recording. The class was recorded and provided to them. So it's when I tell people that, look, what we do here is different. People say, until people see this, they don't believe. So this is the class recording. Okay, this is the class recording. I'm just gonna play a little bit of it so that you see. That's the expert shares his screen. You can see that particular case study that I just shared. All right, so let me take it a bit forward so that you see. You can see he shared his screen and he's walking people through step by step. Okay, and engaging the participants. So these are professionals that understand that you are beginners. They are patient. They have at least 2 screens to work with. One of it is where the participants would be, okay, so he can monitor the participants. You can raise your hand. I'll raise my hand. For example, some of you, your hands are raised now. I can see all of you. Your hands are raised. Johnson, your hand is raised. Gold, your hand is raised. Fortune, your hand is also raised. So that is how interactive the class is, even if it is online. And this is how we've been able to connect with Africans effectively, bring the best experts for you in your class, and also introduce you to the remote working environment. That's how. This is super secret. Okay, so enough of that. Right now, I want to speak with only a few people. How many people want to get into the class starting on the 9th of July? Okay, how many people want to get? Because guys, these are some of the projects you would work on. Okay, there are students' portfolios. You can see student portfolio. Okay, there are more testimonials. I could have just talked about more testimonials of people who have gotten jobs after joining our program or lower share. So, but time is of the essence, right? Time is of the essence. I still want to take some of your questions. We've hit the 1 hour mark. I still want to take some of your questions. All right. So I want to speak with specific set of people, okay, that are ready to start their journey with Navient Analytics on the 9th of June. Okay, and before I tell you all of the requirements, all right, that you need to get started on the 9th of June, let me spoil it for you. Let me spoil it. You know when a movie is about to come out, there's something they call spoiler, okay, or trailer. Let me spoil it for you. Okay, somebody said 9th of June is too far. Well, how many weeks is that? It's less than 3 weeks now, or exactly 3 weeks. Okay, before you know it, 3 weeks is here. Okay, Henry. So calm down. Okay, there's no need to rush. Do you give certificates capital letter? Yes. But guess why I didn't mention certificates? Do you know why I didn't mention? I didn't bother myself mentioning certificate, Mary Jane. Those students, majority of them got jobs even before they finished the program. So we had not issued them certificates when they got jobs. So I don't bother mentioning certificates, even if we actually give certificates. All right, just thought to mention that. Now, for 5 people, for 5 people that will meet, okay, let me say it like this, guys. Pardon my English, okay? Pardon my English. Please tell me sometimes my English is too much, guys. For the first 5 people to meet a certain criteria for registering for the 9th of June class tonight, I will be managing their LinkedIn profile for 1 month myself. I will help you manage your LinkedIn profile. Now, your LinkedIn is one tool that will give you results without needing to apply to jobs. I will handle it for you for 1 month. Now, I intended to work with 10 people. I want you to listen to me very attentively. I intended to work with 10 people. 5 slots are already gone. Five slots are already gone. Okay, 5 people have met some of the requirements and it is gone. Okay. Yes, it is 10, but only 5 people. I need just 5 more people. I already have 5. I need just 5 more people that will meet the criteria. All the things I've already talked about, that was what our past students got. This that I'm telling you now is extra for just 5 people. Now, guys, for you to get into the program, okay, for you to get into the program, right? We got, depending on the program that you're going to be choosing, the total amount for the program is 250,000 naira, and you get access to everything that I've talked about, including the lifetime, the lifetime offer that I talked about. Now you can pay in full, you can split it into 2, or you can leverage our customized 4 installment plan that you can see on my screen right now. 4 installments. Now, and this 4 installments is where the minimum criteria for you to be part of the 5 people that have been managing their LinkedIn accounts is. So I need you to pay attention. Okay, now the 5 people that I'll be working with are the first 5 people to secure their seat tonight with 30,000 and also top up with 55,000 naira before the June cohort starts. The first 5 people to do that, I'm going to manage their LinkedIn account for 1 month myself. Okay, 30,000 naira secures you a seat, so that books you a seat. If you do that tonight, you have met the first criteria. The final criteria is you top up with 55,000 naira before the June cohort starts. Now that makes a total of 85,000, and you start the program. So it means with 85,000 naira, you can start in June. Now, but the key thing is to secure a spot tonight. That's the criteria. 1 month into the program, you then top up with 85,000 naira. By that time, in total, it will be 170,000. Meanwhile, you've already started benefiting from all our offerings. And then 2 months into the program, you then balance up with 80,000 naira, and that makes a total of 250,000. And you can secure a spot with a direct transfer to our Sterling bank account 0098999 With a direct transfer of 30,000, you secure a spot and you meet the first criteria for that extra LinkedIn support that I promised you. And again, I already have 5 people. Like I said, I need just 5 more people to meet that criteria. Okay, all the students that have gotten jobs so far, they didn't get that. I didn't manage their LinkedIn accounts for them. They did it themselves. So this is just me lifting that burden off of you for 1 month, okay, which is more than enough for you to get results. All right, so I have 5 people on ground. I need 5 more people. So all you need to do once you secure your spot, send me a DM 0703 215 8619, and I'll walk you through on how to get yourself enrolled. Send me a proof of the payment, and I'll walk you through on how to secure your enrollment spot. 0703 215 8619. That is my phone line. Please, no phone calls, WhatsApp only. WhatsApp only. 0703 215 8619. So I've started receiving DMs already while I was in the session. I'll check the DMs immediately we are done here. So while that is going on, questions. Who has questions for me? Who has questions for me? While you're securing your spot, who has questions? Questions. I will allow you to unmute your mic now. So if I call you, I would want you to unmute. If I call you, please let's maintain decorum. I'll call you based on your hands. Okay, so I'll take questions for the next 15 minutes and then we'll shut down the session. Meanwhile, if you've secured your spot, send me a DM and let me get you enrolled. Johnson, your hand is up. You want to speak with me? Your hand is up.
Thank you very much, Mr. Muhammad.
Yeah, go ahead.
Please, I've been joining the webinar since Saturday.
All right.
Incidentally, when I came across the link on Facebook, which was a day earlier, so I didn't even know. So I was led to WhatsApp group from there. So
yeah,
I didn't know. So and on Saturday, I happened to have an online class. So something just said I should just check the WhatsApp, and I discovered that a link was sent that same day to attend the webinar. So while I was in a live class, I was putting my phone right beside my ear just to listen to whatever that was going on. And while I was tutoring the live class, which I was in. But that is not even the case. Even on Monday, I joined the live webinar too.
Yeah.
And today again, I joined. Now, the whole thing is that I just didn't want to ask any question ever since I've been joining. So I deemed it to ask the question tonight. And why I deemed it to ask the question tonight is because I was called on Monday by Madam Akinola Omolola.
Okay.
So she called me, one of your team. So she called me that I put my interest in data analysis. I said yes. He said, why haven't I shown interest? I said I explained to him that to her that I have a program which I'm running concurrently, and I wouldn't want currently. I wouldn't want a situation whereby the class will clash. I usually have the program on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So right now I'm trying to weigh my options whether to come in or not. Because at the moment, why I feel I want to come in is that if truly you people as a company, as an organization, will actually use the world as you make use of your world class projects or something like that. So that's why I want to come. I feel I want to come on board because I have two programs that I'm running on data analysis again. So, and I want to use every avenue that I have to actually key into it. And also the issue of LinkedIn optimization, and that actually aroused my interest in joining you, but I would know. So what to do as I speak now because of the online class which I've been having. I'm having a physical class and I'm having an online class. And this one now is an online class. I don't want a class.
So how will you combine it, right?
Yes.
That's the question.
That is the question. And I want to be sure you are providing a world-class, a real world-class case studies and leveraging on the optimization that you said you will be putting yourself, out to actually do for whoever that is interested and is ready to pay now. So that's just the issue. If truly I'll get the value for my money, joining you and I'm also considering the fact that I don't want the two classes to
clash.
collide. Yes.
All right. I'll answer your question now, but I want to interest you in an information right now. As you're asking your question, two people have already taken two of those five slots. As you're asking the question, I was looking at my phone and I saw two DMs, and those guys have taken it. So, but let me answer a question quickly so you can make your decision very quick. Now, for you, the question is, when is your current program going to end? When is it going to end? That's the first question.
The program will end. It will end in the next 5 or 6 weeks.
Fantastic. Now, what you can do, or what you should do, not even what you can do, what you should do is you secure a seat now with 30,000, and then in the enrollment process, you defer to start in maybe July. So that way you have the whole of June, all right, to yourself, and then you are more relaxed starting in July. Okay, so because we have a new cohort starting every single month, all right, but of course we usually review our price every single month depending on the demand for the program. Currently is on the high, so if we go to our website, you won't see this price. This is not the price you see. We go to our website, what you see there is 320,000 naira, and that's what we are contemplating on, updating our prices to right now. So this is just okay. We've not made it official yet, so we keep it at this for now. So what you need to do now is secure your spot. You send me a DM, I'll send the enrollment form to you, and then when you are filling the enrollment form, you indicate that you want to start in July. So you complete your program, and then you can then come in July. How about that? How does that sound to you?
It sounds good. But sir, one more thing again, sir. I want to ask. Permit me to ask. Since I've been attending for the past today makes it the third time I will attend. I will attend this
session.
Yes, this session. So now, because the first time I attended, it was 10-2. The second time I think it was 5. Today now, I want to ask. The class is it not jam-packed already? And with the way that you are saying social number is attached to number of people that you want to work on their LinkedIn optimization. So what is
how is it going to be?
I want to get the clarity, because each and every time you come out on webinar, there is a particular number of people that you want to try work with. So
let me explain. Now, on Saturday, I wanted to work with 10 people. In that session, 5 people took the slot. And that's why today I made it clear that I need only 5 more people for LinkedIn. I want to work with 10 people for 1 month. I'm going to start working with them on the 9th of June. Okay, it to be an exclusive package for those people. Now, in my session on Monday, what I helped people with, people that secured their spot, was to give them early access to portfolio. If you remember on Monday, what we did was to build a portfolio from scratch. A lot of people said, exactly. So a lot of people said, oh, portfolio building is hard. And in a session like this on Monday, I built a portfolio from scratch, from nothing. So, and that was what that session was tailored towards. So probably because of, you were in another session, you didn't really get the whole dynamics, but that's it. So as of today, for those people, fantastic. So for today, for those who I'll be working with, for the 10 people who I'll be working with on their LinkedIn for 1 month, I have just 5 slots left, and that's the 5 slots I presented today. Okay, so it's not anything new. All right. So I hope that answers your question.
It answers that.
All right. Fantastic. Okay, fantastic. Okay, great. So when are you going to secure your spots, Johnson?
Sorry, my mic was off. So what happened is that when I was called, I actually explained to Akinola Molola that don't have the money, and I actually explain the fact that I'm having extra classes too. So I just want to make sure that I actually get myself footings on the data analysis. From every avenue I can actually attach myself to, such that before time I will be able to. And the way you have come out really on this platform actually wants me to want to stick. Even I even told Akinola that if indeed I try you out, I have some other people that we are running the same program together. So if I try you out, and what actually you are trying to churn out, you claim now to be churning out, is actually the best. So I told her I'll be getting like three more people to you, which I believe that they will. But for now, I cannot actually tell them. Is either I try it out, is either I try it out, then later on to them. Then so
that's not
I
a problem,
actually
right?
I actually told that. So no problem. I'll be. So what is the payment distance?
So that's what's on my screen right now. Okay, that I explained earlier. All right, but guess what? By the time those three people, you will tell them this is not gonna be our, I'm sure this is not gonna be our price anymore. So that's just it. So we're gonna update our prices ASAP. All right. So that's what's going to be. So your best interest, secure a spot now. Tell them to also secure theirs so that we can move to the next stage. All right. So Justin, thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
So after making the payment, how do I reach you?
Just Omolola is already there. You're already speaking with Omolola, so just contact her. I'll walk you through.
Okay.
All right. So let's move to Audu. Audu, you are the next person on my list here. Let's have it. Hi, Audu. Your mic is muted. You may want to unmute so that I can hear you. You want to speak with me.
Hello, do you mean me?
Yes, please. Your hand was up, so that was why I called you.
Oh no. Sorry. That was a mistake.
Okay. All right, no problem. Have you already sent me a DM though?
What?
Have you sent me a DM? Have you secured your spot? Because hands don't come up by mistake in my session. Do you get my point?
All right, I will send you a DM.
All right.
I understand.
All right, I'll be expecting. All right. So let's move to Rufus then. Rufus, how you doing today?
Nice
to have you. Yeah. Hi Rufus, how you doing today? Your mic is muted if you're speaking. All right. I'm not sure Rufus intended to speak with me. Let's move to Bala. Hi Bala, how you doing today?
Hi, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good evening. Yes, loud and clear, I can.
Oh, okay. So I've already sent you a DM, although I can't see that you're seeing it. So maybe because you're on this platform. And
exactly.
For me, the little challenge I have, I've secured my seats, but the little challenge I have is that on Saturdays I have classes. There's something I'm actually doing from 9 to 1 p.m. every Saturday. So I really don't know how I'm going to work around it. Yes, but it is something I really want to do. So for me also, I'm a business owner. So I am going towards the line of being a business analyst. So I'm just hoping I'll get value for my money and time. So that's all. And then I really would love that handling my LinkedIn space, because I really don't understand LinkedIn. I really don't know. I'm not too social media savvy, so I think it will help a great deal.
All right, fantastic one. Very good. So I'm glad you said you've already secured your spot. So most likely you'll be one of the people that I'll be working with. So let me congratulate you in advance. So most likely you'll be one of the people that I'll be working with. Now,
Thank
now
you.
the idea is this, yeah. There was this participant. She's currently on our program. Her name is Chinechere. Although she registered for the data analytics. So the reason I'm telling you about her is because you are kind of like in the same space with her. Now, as at the point when when she wanted to join our program, she told me that she had engagement on Saturdays, and just like you, she really wanted to do it. In fact, she had registered just like you. Now, and that's why when you spoke, she immediately came to mind. So what I told her was this: in in your case, what we'll do is we're going to inform your instructor that look, there is a lady in your class called so and so, right? And she has an engagement on Saturdays. So it is likely that she would go to the recording and she would have questions. Please be available to attend to her whenever she asks her question. All right. So Chinecherium as we speak is up to date. So the thing is, the question for you now, Bala, I'm not sure if that's your name, but that's the name I can see on your
Yes.
screen. Fantastic. So the question for you now is, after you are done, when next on Saturday you have free time to probably go through the recording so that you then ask your questions, uh, Saturday.
I
You
I
have
have time from say from 1:30. I have time because my class is 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
okay,
So from
fantastic.
1:30, I'm free.
Okay. Okay, great. So what you can even do, what I'll suggest is this. After your class 9 to 1, you can just relax. You don't bother rushing into the class. Just relax. When you are relaxed, the recording will be made available. Okay, it will be made available. So what we do is we record it online as you are attending the class. So the recording takes, I think, like 1 to 2 hours, becomes ready, and then that's posted in your Google Classroom, the same platform that I showed. So all you need to do is to go to that platform, okay, look at the recording, practice the same thing the facilitator is doing. And anywhere you get stuck, just pause it and come to you'd have a dedicated WhatsApp group. In fact, you'd have access to your facilitator, can send them a text. And these are people who understand that you are beginners and you need all the help you possibly can. So, in as much as you are ready to take advantage of all of that help, these guys are super patient. They'll be willing to help. So, we'll pre-inform your facilitator before you start the class that look, there is a Bala in your class that needs so and so attention, so that they create that space for you. Okay, how does that work for you?
That's fine. That's fine by me.
Okay, fantastic. So ensure that you um I don't know if you're already speaking with any of my team members, but you can just let me know in my DM, okay? Because a lot of them has come in. Just let me know that you were the one that asked this specific question so that I can make that provision for you. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
All right. All right, fantastic. All right, so who is next now? Rufus, I can see you're unmuted. Can you speak now? I think you're struggling with your mic or something. It's possible that you have. It's possible that you have. Okay, guys, if you are still on this call, because I can see some DMs coming in. So again, the LinkedIn optimization, you can only get it if you are one of the first 5 people to make the first and second installment tonight. Okay, because I can see some people making just the first installment. The first installment does not give you the LinkedIn optimization. You only meet the first criteria. You have to meet 2 criteria. Okay, if you secure a spot tonight and you are also part of the first 5 persons, then you would get it. And you know, like I said, I already have 5 people on ground. I needed just 5 more people to work with. Okay, so have that in mind from this session. All right, so Mary Jane, you want to ask your question? I've already exceeded the 15 minutes that I said I'll use for questions. But let me just take Mary Jane and Ifeyinwa, and then we'll call it a night. Okay, you can also type the questions in the chat. Pick it up
Okay, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
My question is concerning your payments, because you mentioned you were going to update your payments, because I asked in the comments, when is your next class after June? And someone replied July. So, and the comments they've been bombarding us there, secure your spot. It looks like you're threatening us with your updating payment. And so I just wanted to know, you are trying to say you'll still increase your price from 250 to what? So we all get our minds prepared.
Okay, very good question. I like that question. So I think last 2 months, this was not our price. So recently just updated it. And the reason why updating it is very simple. We are offering premium. Okay. So, and when you hear premium, it means that we need to be in charge and be in control of the number of people that attend the class. So as a way of putting like a control measure, okay, we update the price. Now you see these 4 installments that we have, it's going to get to a point. If you come towards the end of the month, okay, you are likely not going to see these 4 installments. If you see it, you are lucky. All right, but what you get is paying full, temporary to pay in full. So that way we are controlling the price. Now, because of the demand still, all right, so we are looking to update to 320,000 from next month, or maybe even more. But that's what's on the website right now. If you go to the website, so that's the case. We work with data, not just mere emotions, right? So we look at, okay, how do we balance the number of people in class with the number of people that actually want to be in class? Okay, so we make those adjustments as needed. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, to an extent, but I get your point, what you're saying about trying to balance the people. You're trying to control the number of people that is coming in because you're offering premium. Yeah, that's a good one. And it's also like setting standard for what you guys do. But I feel like a lot of people are stuck in their current career and want to transition. I am also part of those persons who want to upskill and transition. So if we are in a very tight situation right now, most of us, if all of us had the money to just pay upfront the 250 right now and say, okay, I'll start my class in July, I'm sure we'll all do that. But because of how things are, I'm only saying that you put some consideration when you're updating your price.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. There are a few brands that do what we do. Okay, a few of them do what we do, but not in Nigeria. You hardly find them in Nigeria. First off, if you have to get access to their program, you don't even have the option to pay in naira to start with. Now tell me, if I was asking you to pay in dollars, for example, do you think it would be 250,000? So that's the real question. So the level of value that we understand the value that we are giving, okay, and we are trying to balance, between our value and the price. So we don't want a situation whereby we promise a certain type of value. And because the price is too cheap or too affordable, okay, a lot of people flood in, jeopardize our value. So what I can assure you is that we will give that value no matter what it takes. And if it means taking the price to 350, 450, that is exactly what we'll do. All right. So now it is 250. It wasn't like that some time ago. So, and that shows that we're already implementing what we say we implement. So it's if you are here now and you're seeing this price, count yourself lucky. So just find a way, take advantage of it as much as you can while it's still here. So we can work with you, okay?
Are you saying you can pay
Yeah.
the 250 and start your class with the July session?
Yes, please, you can. You can do that. Okay, so we give that flexibility. So you determine when you want to start, of course, depending on the available slot. July is available. We have some people who have secured a spot to start in August. Okay, so you can absolutely do that. So pay in full is available. Don't split it into two, it's available. But the most you can do is what you have on the screen. So I hope that answers your question.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, that's fine.
Right. All right. It's a pleasure. Okay. Let me see. Did I say I'll take another person? Please put your question in the chat. Let me just take it in the chat. Okay, somebody sent me a message. I'll look at it after the session. Please, can I have the link to recap on Sunday? Yes, you'd have the link. Fill out the attendance form. Okay, just you've sent the receipt of payment. Okay, fantastic. I'll walk you through the next steps in a little bit. So I think that is all. I can see Faith, your hand is up. If anyone hand is up. Okay, let me just quickly take you very quickly. Let me see who is the first person. If anyone, please go ahead with your question. Okay, Faith, you've already unmuted. Just go ahead, please, so that we make the best use of time. Go ahead.
All right, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. How are you doing today?
Just a simple one. If somebody is not ready for the class immediately for one or two engagements, okay, but I can secure a slot and differ to start when I'm ready, right?
Yeah. So when exactly will you be ready?
I'm looking at August.
Yeah, August is fine. August works. Okay, August works. All right. So all you need to do is secure a spot, and then I would walk you through on how to indicate. So I'll send you a form. So when you're filling the form, you would have options. August is one of them. So you just pick August, and then we'll slate you to start with the August cohorts. Is that fine?
That's fine. That's fine.
All right, fantastic. Okay, so
Thank you.
yeah, it's a pleasure. So if anyone,
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I ran into this platform on Facebook first of all, but I wanted to ask. I'm new to this tech. I've not done anything like this. Even the whole LinkedIn profile thing is like everybody just wants to transition to this new calling. And I joined in late today, so I didn't even hear the description of the data analytics, business analytics, and all that. So I don't even know where I want to belong. But one thing I know for sure is that I just want to be led right. So I wanted to find out, first of all, these are Saturday classes. Although you've answered most of it, I can always play back if I'm not available on Saturdays because I'm a little bit busy most times on Saturdays. Even though I want to make out as much time as I can to see if I can meet up with the classes, you know. Then secondly, you also answered that when people have certification, right? And you people will lead us through the whole process. Like I said, some of us are really new to this whole thing. And we're trusting you people that we're in the right hands, that we will learn somehow and get through it. Age is not a barrier, right? I guess.
No, age is not a barrier.
Okay, so we're just hoping on being led right. That's just my fear. And
yeah, absolutely. Actually, from what we've seen so far, about if my analysis is correct, about 80% of the people that join us are absolute beginners. They've not actually experienced any other training program before, or even tried to get into tech. So the irony about it is that people who have joined a program before get to appreciate us more because they see the difference. They have something to compare. Okay, so that's
Okay.
just, I just felt that that information is relevant for me to share with you since you mentioned what you mentioned. So I'm looking forward to seeing you in class actually. Okay.
Then I wanted to ask, are there any requirements for this program, like basic requirements we need to join this
Okay.
program?
Yeah, very good question. You need a laptop. You need a laptop to get yourself started because the kind of project you'd work on pretty much same thing you'd see on the job. So you need a laptop to learn and to work on
Any
the
type
job.
of laptop, or is there a minimum kind of like Core i5 or something? I'm just asking.
Okay, very good question also. So generally, you don't need a high-end laptop. But I tell
Okay.
people for the best experience, uh, if you have a Core i3, 8 gig RAM, that works. Okay, that gives you the best experience. So anything above that, anything on Core i3 and above, works
Okay.
fine. Okay, so now
Okay.
the question now, if you have something lesser, because I know some other people may say, oh, what if I have something lesser? If you have something lesser, you can still work with that, only that it will be a little bit lower than the one I mentioned. All right, but you
Okay.
don't need to
Okay.
spend a million getting a laptop just because you want to get the program. Okay.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
Thank you very much.
All right. It's a pleasure. Okay, so that's the last question I'll be taking tonight. I enjoyed myself absolutely well. If you're still here, I want to appreciate you for your time. I really hope you got value for the time you spent with me tonight. I'm looking forward to seeing each and every one of you in class at some point, if not in the June cohort, in the later cohort. So, and then we can work with you and achieve the goals that we set out to achieve. So, in the absence of any other thing, this is where I would say thank you very much. Have a wonderful night's rest. For those of you who have sent me a DM, I'll respond to you immediately after this session. Cheers, guys.